The Roman Empire persecuted the Christian Church and forbade them from holding property. Early congregations met in the houses of wealthy families and in churches on the outskirts of Rome. Over time, privately owned property of the church began to extend across Italy. Emperor Constantine I adopted Christianity in the empire and returned all confiscated properties to the rightful owner, starting with the Lateran Palace in Rome. As the Western Roman Empire fell in the 5th century, the church was threatened by the invasion of Odoacer and the Ostrogoths. To learn more about La Bella Italia, consider subscribing. The Byzantine Eastern Roman Empire, based in Constantinople, was led by Emperor Justinian I, and he began to reconquer Italy. In 568, the Lombards invaded northern Italy. By the 7th century, the Byzantine rulers, the Exarch, retained only a strip of land largely between Ravenna, Rome and Naples, and the Duchy of Rome became an independent state ruled by the Pope. Aided by a wide popular support, various popes defied the Byzantine Empire. Indeed, Pope Gregory II excommunicated Emperor Leo III, but at the same time, the Pope and the Exarch would collaborate to resist the advance of the Lombards in northern Italy. As the Lombards approached, the Pope, lacking an army, relied on diplomacy and the threat of excommunication to achieve its aims. Pope Gregory II agreed territory of the Papal States with the Lombard king Liutprand 728. The Byzantine Exarchate of Ravenna fell to the Lombards in 751. The popes sought the support of the Franks. Pope Zachary had Pepin the Short crowned king in 751. In return, Pepin promptly took a Frank army into Italy to defeat the Lombards and reassert control over northern Italy. Pepin gave of Ravenna to the Pope. In 781, Charlemagne reasserted papal control over the Duchy of Rome, Ravenna, the coastal strip between Ancona and Rimini, the Duchy of Benevento, Tuscany, Corsica, Lombardy, and a number of other cities. By 800, Pope Leo III had crowned Charlemagne as Emperor of the Romans. In reality, separate regions were self-governing, often by unappointed bandits and warlords, with little or no papal influence. The German ruler Otto I conquered northern Italy in the 10th century. Pope John XII crowned Otto I as emperor, and in return the emperor guaranteed the independence of the Papal States. Tension, as well as excommunications, continued to ebb and flow between the Papal States and the emperor. The French Pope Urban II received messengers from the Byzantine Emperor Alexios I Komnenos and triggered the First Crusade in 1095. The popes lived in Avignon, France, between 1305 and 1378, under the watchful eyes of the French kings. Noting the instability in Rome, the absent papacy sought to reassert its control over the Papal States, and sent a small army of mercenaries led by Cardinal Albornoz. Supported by Giovanni Visconti of Milan, the last stand against the papal mercenaries was at Faenza and Forli. The Papal States expanded during the Renaissance under Popes Alexander VI and Julius II. The Pope was now a secular as well as a religious leader, negotiating treaties and fighting a number of wars. In 1527, troops loyal to Emperor Charles V sacked Rome and incarcerated Pope Clement VII. Under duress, Clement VII gave up Parma, Modena and a number of other areas. King Philip II of Spain defeated the forces of Pope Paul IV, again over territory. At its zenith, the 18th century Papal States included Latium, Umbria, Marche, Ravenna, Ferrara, Bologna, Romagna, Benevento, Pontecorvo and Avignon in France. In 1791, Avignon was occupied by revolutionary France. A French invasion of Italy took place in 1796 and went on to occupy the Papal States' northern territories. As a result, France created the Cisalpine Republic, a pro-French region in Italy. The French forces occupied the remaining Papal States, declaring a Roman Republic in 1798. Pope Pius VI fled and died in exile in France. As the French restored the Papal States in 800, Pope Pius VII returned to Rome. Napoleon invaded Italy in 1808 and annexed the Papal States to France. After the fall of Napoleon, the Congress of Vienna in 1814 restored the Papal States to the Vatican, but Avignon passed to France. Italian nationalist fervour was thwarted by the Congress of Vienna, as northern Italy was returned to the Habsburgs and the Bourbons. The Papal States in central Italy and the Bourbon Kingdom of Two Sicilies also was returned to the earlier status quo. Widespread dissatisfaction and corrupt government triggered numerous popular revolts, which were brutally put down by the Austrian army. A Roman Republic was declared in 1849, led by Mazzini, demanding, amongst other things, religious freedom, and this caused Pope Pius IX to flee. The French put down the uprising in 1849, and Pius IX returned, now as a more conservative pope. Traditionally, the Papal States Army was composed of volunteers and mercenaries. Between 1860 and 1870, the Papal Army, Esercito Pontificio, composed of Italian infantry, Swiss infantry, and also Irish volunteers. In 1861, Catholic volunteers were made up of Dutch, French, and Belgian troops who fought against Garibaldi's redshirts, the Italian patriots of the Risorgimento. The Kingdom of Italy and the Italian Parliament was declared in 1861, but declared Rome the capital of the kingdom. A French garrison in Rome stubbornly protected Pope Pius IX from the emerging Kingdom of Italy. Unfortunately for the Pope, the outbreak of the Franco-Prussian War in 1870 caused the recall of the French garrison from Rome. The Pope had been abandoned. King Vittorio Emanuele II offered a peaceful conquest of Rome, perhaps disingenuously offering to send troops to Rome to apparently protect the Pope. The Pope naturally refused, and the Kingdom of Italy declared war, An Italian army led by General Raffaele Cadorno placed Rome under siege. The Pope's tiny army was far too small to defend Rome. Eventually, Pope Pius IX ordered the papal forces to stop fighting in order to limit the bloodshed. Rome did fall and was annexed to the Kingdom of Italy. The Papal States were no more. The Pope retained only the Basilica of St. Peter and the Vatican Quarter of Rome. The Papal Army disbanded in 1870, leaving the Palatine Guard and the Noble Guard. The small Papal Navy, based at Civitavecchia and Ancona, sailed to France in 1870. Pope Pius IX refused to become an Italian subject. The Italian fascist leader Benito Mussolini grappled with the conundrum of the prisoner in the Vatican. He signed a treaty in 1929, creating the State of the Vatican City as an independent sovereign territory of the Pope and quite separate from Italy. The Swiss Guard remains as a part ceremonial unit, part bodyguard at the Vatican. The Vatican City is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the only state to achieve this. Christian tradition believes St. Peter was crucified upside down here. In recent years, the Vatican has been the subject of a number of scandals, from the minor involving planning disputes and tobacco taxation to the more serious, which have been reported in the international press. Things to do when visiting the Vatican City. Obviously, there is St. Peter's Basilica, a Renaissance masterpiece, both inside and out. You can marvel at the Sistine Chapel, decorated by Michelangelo. Putting religion to one side, La Pietà by Michelangelo is one of the most moving pieces of art I have seen. The Vatican museums include the art by Raphael, and don't forget the gardens.